Switchblade to a single midnight. Think twice about the motherfucking quick knife. Switchblade suicide with the wrist slice. Closed eyes won't rise when the sun's bright. Switchblade serenading in the moonlight. Hopping through the fucking sky cause the moon bright. You know they say when the stars in my eyes where to go running high. There be no one alive when the union arises. Street light shining, you know my time's arriving. Out when it's dark cause we midnight vibing. Midnight driving, cruising by flying. Living so fast, never think about dying. Pose up in the dark and we hang out with the Batman. Scars on my knuckles cause we fucking with the wolf gang. Switchblade shining, night bright whining. Stars in my eyes when the moonlight shines in. Murder rap on my first track. Killing shit cause I've been begging. Suicide on the second, I don't care. Just accept it, knife swipe and get doomed. Switchblade coming soon. Chills on your spine when we holler to the fucking moon. Still shut bright flash spot. Make it eyes one. Shut down slice with the right swat. Blood on my fist, knife test on my wrist. Moonshine off the blade, just cruising through the mist. Middle of midnight. Think twice about the motherfucking quick knife. Switchblade suicide with the wrist slice. Closed eyes won't rise when the sun's bright. Switchblade serenading in the moonlight. Hopping through the fucking sky cause the moon bright. You know they say when the stars in my eyes where to go running high. There be no one alive when the union arises. In a bit of midnight. Think twice about the motherfucking quick knife. Switchblade suicide with the wrist slice. Closed eyes won't rise when the sun's bright. Switchblade serenading in the moonlight. Hopping through the fucking sky cause the moon bright. You know they say when the stars in my eyes better go running high. There be no one alive when the union arises. In a bit of midnight. Think twice about the motherfucking quick knife. Switchblade suicide with the wrist slice. Closed eyes won't.
What's up, everybody? You're live with the Crowded Room Podcast. Alex and Jerry here on a Thursday night. What's going on, Alex?
It's going on. I think we got a little buffer here if we want to start off the podcast nice and hot, though.
You want to start it off nice and hot?
Let's show people what you've been working on all week.
What I've been working on all week? All right. Andrew, hit the Kyle G video, please. What's up, everybody? This is the Crowded Room Podcast with Alex and Jerry. Tonight we got Kyle on the show. Let's do a shot. Famously loves his whiskey.
But we're doing
I'm Dave Grohl, but his son. It's like I'm like Yellow Wolf.
They say you eat the most unhealthiest food, and you don't even get fat.
I know. I could eat like 6 burgers from McDonald's, and I just shit.
Right.
I take a lot of shits, just so you guys know.
I just had
Now
5 tacos before coming over
Sorry,
here. Please don't let me.
Yo,
It's a regular occurrence.
if you're online looking at us, have a shot with us.
Hey,
Or else you're a bitch.
People want
I'm
to fucking
being a
live the
bitch.
damn lives.
Ladies, remember, I'm single, and I'm a boss. All the sexy ladies. Can I tell a story to all of you? Okay, so when I met him, he had a lot of drugs.
Oh,
He got a lot better, and I got a lot better.
The end.
And I'm talking about like 3-4 years ago when we were doing ketamine and a bunch of fucking cocaine. I love you. The ketamine you've given me and the acid you've given me.
God damn it.
Yeah. That shit was happening. My favorite memory with Alex is when my mother
Oh, yeah.
brought a birthday cake over and he was taking a piss on the side
In
of
the
my
front
door.
lawn.
She always brings it up.
You got your shit together?
Yeah. I got this shit together.
So you don't do drugs anymore, hey?
Yeah. Wow. Do not say that on the internet. Yes, I have not done drugs in like probably 2 years.
this guy says, Kyle, what? We did ketamine like 2 weeks ago.
Oh! His eyes. Oh,
No,
okay.
no,
fuck
no.
that. How do you plead?
I am guilty.
Guilty of what, sir?
hang out with someone like that, but I want to answer real questions.
That's good.
You want to check out my half sleeve?
What a politician, man.
Yeah.
You want to check out his half sleeve?
It was like $1,400.
I may have been
It's
associated with
literally
those
worth
people.
$1,500.
I don't know.
God.
With those glasses and that. That was a long time ago.
Yeah. I've never sniffed meth. Do not
Really?
sniff meth. Do not sniff meth.
That's where he draws the line. He's got morals, okay?
Kyle,
What are you doing now?
bottoms up before bed. It's a little nightcap before Kyle has to go to bed. No, we know how this works. 2-3 shots and Kyle's asleep.
This is dope.
Shay, me and you were fucking around
can you
last
tell
night
we've
in the
done this
goddamn
before?
Right.
woodshed.
Kind of fun.
Oh, fuck.
What's going
Kyle, what are you
Kyle's
doing?
literally playing
Kyle.
fucking video. We got a good hour out of Kyle. That's asking a lot. Oh, Kyle, what are you staring at your feet for? Are you going to make it? He's non-responsive.
You're on a live podcast.
Can I do a song?
You gonna? What do you mean do a song?
You're blowing it,
No,
bud.
Kyle,
I just
doing
want
it.
to rap.
Are you pissed?
Poor Kyle.
Not
He just wanted to fucking
Not just
abort
yet,
mission
no.
easily.
All right, let me.
Well, you guys are both there.
Fucking-
Crowded room via verbal submission.
I am alive. Yo.
At least they know you didn't do drugs to end up like this. Like
Take my mic.
I didn't do a bunch of coke.
he's just
All
taking
right.
a little cat nap.
Talking
Fuck
into the bottom of the
everything.
microphone.
We go to snoring a little.
Poor guy.
Look at it. He didn't expect this.
Yeah.
He did not expect this.
Like and subscribe for Kyle G's
Motherfucker got
efforts.
knocked
He made
out.
it. He made
The
it. a
poor
good
Kyle,
fucking hour.
he just flew a little
It's
too
our
close
fault
to the
for
sun,
thinking
you
it
know?
wouldn't. In the name of Kyle G.
Yeah, he did.
He,
You guys
grew
remember
some
Kyle?
wings. Fine.
Cheers to Kyle.
To the memory of Kyle.
Dum
Bummer.
diddy dum dum diddy dum.
If you ever want,
Let's answer it.
This is
His,
a wild
his buddy
podcast,
called in.
man. You guys brought on the rowdiest guy ever.
There's your boy.
Looks like he didn't stick the landing.
Snoring, bro.
he's snoring. That's okay. Give him 10
Deep
minutes.
sleep.
Love you guys and listen to music.
Eggs.
Music is
You
life
too, Kyle.
and friends and family.
Epic. What's up, everybody? So,
I like how he tried to be super serious, and he still just fell on his face. Like
his idea was he's gonna get us so drunk. He saw
Yeah,
that
that's
David
just
Grohl interview on Hot Ones, and
It
he wanted
might
to make us
seem-
have a shot.
it might seem like we're pushing alcohol on him, but that is not the case. That guy has a serious issue with insisting everybody does shots, like multiple shots all the time, and that last one was just like, oh, well, you don't want to do it anymore? What's wrong?
Yeah, classic Kyle G though. Right?
Yeah, one toke over the line,
Yeah.
right? But it happened. Whatever. If you guys want to see that, that's on our old channel. I'm sure you know.
And on
by
our
now.
new channel. And on
Oh,
this
you
channel now.
loaded?
Yeah, last night.
Oh no,
got
I mean
loaded up.
the full length version of Kyle
Oh
G.
yeah, that's right.
That's on the old channel.
That's episode 24. It's one of our old episodes. If you just started watching,
right.
Like when we changed the format, we have like 40 old
And maybe
episodes,
it's
so that's
worthwhile
one of
for
them.
us to upload some old videos like that, like specifically just that.
Just
and
highlight
here and there.
reels of them. Yeah.
Because I mean, as it goes, we're driving traffic back to that channel to go watch that video if they're curious, right? But so who knows? Maybe that's worth doing for us in the future. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to your favorite goddamn podcast on Thursday nights. Let's make a point not to swear in the first couple minutes.
Did I swear?
I don't know. We probably swore in that video, right? And we're
Said
already screwed.
goddamn. Is that a swear?
In some countries, it is. But yeah, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's Thursday night. You know you have nothing better to do than to listen to us, your favorite people, talking into a camera on Thursday night. Yeah, exactly. I'm Alex. He's Jer. We really appreciate your patronage. We're new to this whole channel here. We had to start a brand new one.
Yeah,
It is painful starting a new channel.
I know, right?
Oh my
like it's
God.
we, you know, it's not like we got that far with the other one, but it's
No.
still way farther than where we are
You
with
don't,
this one
yeah.
now. So
I mean,
hit
I
that
think
like
we're
and
only
subscribe
at
button.
150 or something, but then you say like 150 down to 10. That's a significant percentage drop. right?
Absolutely,
Like,
yeah. But also, it's like a learning curve. Like we're learning how to actually build a channel
Yeah.
from the ground up.
It's
And,
painful, but so is every progressive part of your life. You ever want to get better, you have to go through the pain.
Absolutely,
So
that's
I
how
mean,
you evolve.
Yeah, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I was thinking about our episode last week,
Mm-hmm.
And it was very hot and heavy. It seems like we got shadow banned a little. Like our impressions dropped by like 90%.
Just because of our subject matter, I think.
You'd think so.
Not even necessarily our opinions, I think. I think because of what we were talking
But
about.
you see, there's like every other podcast of blah, blah, blah names covered it too, right? That was just the news cycle for last week. Maybe we went a little hard in the paint on giving our personal opinions. But I don't know. I just, sitting there digesting it, it's a thought that came to my mind. What if this Dylan person, and I say person because just like me and you, that's a human that was born and raised. Mm-hmm. What if they thought, what if they thought that they got this job for the merit of how good of an influencer they are? And then all of a sudden everyone's getting mad about how like this has to do with trans politics. And like, what about the influencer that did so well that it got promoted on Bud Light? Like, imagine if we got a deal to be on Bud Light commercials, right? And then everyone's like, oh, but they're fucking losers.
If they didn't transition, would they be as big of an influencer as they are?
That's the other thing. So do you think that this person got the job because of his merit or its merit as a influencer, or because of it's going to generate conversation on the trans topic, which is all I'm debating is, what do you think that Dylan thought going into this? Because if it was altruistic that Dylan thought, I've been doing really good, I'm killing it, to the point where I got a Bud Light deal. And then all of a sudden everyone shits on you like, no, you can't do this because that person's like, that had nothing to do with the fact that the person decided to do this as a job, decided to get better and better every day, finally did good enough to get a Bud Light commercial. At what point, or it could have been initially, at what point did Dylan realize that I'm just being strung along because I'm trans?
Probably the fact that that's all they highlight about that person.
After the fact.
Them. Well, fair enough. But
Right?
I mean, when you get signed for these things, they probably give you an idea of like how they're going to promote you and stuff like that. So
like, just
the fact that
imagine-
she's on a can, or he's on,
Yeah.
they're on a can with rainbows and pronouns all over it. You know what I mean? It's like
Still, imagine
obvious.
imagine I was born with a giant clown nose, but I tried my ass off to be an influencer, and I finally got a Bud Light deal. And then everyone's like, you can't have clown noses on Bud Light cans. Right? Like, you would be like, man, I just like worked my whole life to get to this point, and you're just worrying about my clown nose? What about the breadth of work that I've put into this?
Sometimes I wonder in movies when, like, you know, this like ugly girl comes out, when they were casting that role, like, we're casting for an
You're
ugly
just
girl.
not ugly enough. Oh, you're
It's
perfect.
just like, or sometimes I've asked the same question though. At what point did they realize what they were being casted to play? Like,
Probably when they read the title of the script.
maybe, but at the same time, like, maybe in the script it's not written that that person is so ugly, and they just like cast a super ugly person because they want it that way, right? Like, it's. And then at what point, like, once you see the final product, it's like, oh, they had me in this movie to portray this ugly person. And like, I've asked the same question. At what point did they realize
That you were the ugly person.
that
No, see,
you got cast to be an ugly person?
you know
did you
that,
know that
like,
signing up?
the pretty people start just like not taking care of themselves to look ugly, and you know, even Brendan Fraser put on a fat suit to do that whale.
But he was already kind of fat too. But yeah,
He wasn't fat enough.
No.
Right? And I mean, you go look at Daniel Day-Lewis, right? You go look at the guy who did The Fighter. I forget his name. Christian Bale.
Oh, okay.
Christian Bale lost like
Oh,
so much weight to do the part with Mark Wahlberg.
What's that one movie, The Mechanist or something like, or The Mechanist or something like that?
Mechanic.
Was the
With
Mechanic?
Charles Bronson?
It wasn't. No. Christian Bale's in a movie called like the Mechanist or something like that. The Machinist. Maybe
I know what you mean.
And he went down to
shoots a bunch
100
of people and
I
shit,
haven't even
yeah.
seen it, but I've seen the way he's changed his bodies for different roles, and he got down to like 135 pounds for that role, and he was so scrawny, man.
Right. But then Brendan Fraser can't even gain a couple pounds to play the whale. It's called The Whale. No, I don't know. But anyways, there was a lot of fat people that probably tried out for that got discouraged to continue.
Remember when Scarlett Johansson got cast to play a trans person in a movie, and then she got bullied out of the role?
Really?
Yeah,
Because she wasn't trans
God
enough?
forbid an actor portray something that they're not.
Right. That's just it. We're in make believe land, especially when it's like a fictional like Lord of the Rings or something. Like, you're not a fucking elf. Why didn't this part go to elves?
You know, shit.
Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I'm kind of faking it right now.
What do you think about? Not that this is an important topic. Just I feel like we're on a related subject, kind of. But what do you feel about like Lord of the Rings? Technically, has no white people, or it's not supposed to.
Why?
I don't know. That's how it was written. That's the source content. There's no black people or anything in the source content.
You said there's no white people.
Sorry, did I say there's no white
Yeah,
people?
yeah,
No, it's only white people.
Okay, there we go.
No, then did I say that? My bad. I'm on a live podcast right now.
You just confused the shit out of me.
Yeah, my bad. Let me say that again.
I was like trying to do mental math, like,
trying to word this
person's
properly.
white.
So that's why people were upset with the new series because they added and like I don't think it really matters. I don't really care about
1930.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, like it's antiquated.
I'm not a Lord of the Rings guy. Like I've never really been about that stuff.
So it was written in the 30s. A lot of people say that the Lord of the Rings is an homage to the Second World War and like orcs or Nazis and whatnot. But it was written before 1945, so I don't think that has any merit.
I heard that it's racist and orcs are supposed to be like black people. There's like all sorts of stuff online. They attack it in all sorts of different ways.
I mean, it's art. Art can be interpreted however it wants to be, and no one can say that you're wrong.
I guess, yeah.
Right, other than the guy who made the movie, maybe. But it doesn't matter. Like, as soon as you release your painting, your music, right, your movie,
yeah,
it
your
doesn't
podcast.
really your podcast. It doesn't really belong to you anymore. It belongs to the zeitgeist, the ether.
Fair enough.
And they can take it and interpret it however they want, and go on and tell people that that's how they interpret it. And you can't really say they're wrong, right?
Yeah, fair enough.
So I don't know. They're talking about Middle Earth, which is like probably just a explanation of Europe in general back in the 1500s or something. But who knows? That you can't draw lines.
Where was it written? Was it written in Europe?
I couldn't tell you. J.R.R. Tolkien. I just know the time in which it was written. But anyways, if it's portraying like the year 1000 in Europe, yeah, there probably wasn't many black people around there back then, right?
Yeah, fair enough.
So is it accurate, or is it just people trying to pull stuff out of their ass? Who knows? Either way, it's time to get on to some actual
with real news. Actually, before we get to like real news, how about Izzy and Pereira?
Right, that one surprised the hell out of me. I had $10 going on Pereira, and I thought he was getting ready to fucking lay a smackdown.
Me too, and then he just goes unconscious.
Yeah.
I saw a video trying to break it down, saying that he didn't get hit that hard, and
yeah, he did.
Oh,
that he was just kind of tired. He didn't sleep that well the night before, and
the punch didn't even hit him. Yeah,
he was sick. He was taking Dayquil.
Yeah, and so now they're talking about Alex moving up to 205.
Yeah, and he's already shit talking the champion.
Yeah, and also I've heard talks of Izzy moving up too because he's already cleared out the division. Who does he fight? Robert Whittaker again, Martin Vittori again. It's all rematches. That's all that's left for him in that division. And
you never know.
Duplessis,
205 is sad these days. It used to be the biggest division there was, and now it's very sad.
Middleweight has a great top 10, but it's been defeated. That Duplessis, what's that guy's name? That South African guy? Duplessis. Yeah, he's like the only guy that Izzy hasn't fought that like stands a chance.
And he's number 8 or something. But hey, whatever. He's very good.
Yeah.
And he plays that angle where he's like, I'm actually from Africa. You go back to New Zealand.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Kamaru Usman didn't like that.
Right, yeah.
He's like, you could be born in Africa, but you're not African. It's like, okay.
Tell that to my birth certificate. Or how about tell that to my tax statement?
Are you saying you're not American?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a little odd. Everybody kind of plays that angle, or those are my fans. You stay away from my fans. Right. They're just loyal to me. Yeah. It's a little odd, but everyone has to play that theater.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. And kind of boast themselves over everything else. Like Alex Pereira, he hasn't like shown 1 ounce of sadness, I guess, for lack of a better word, over losing last weekend. In his head, as far as people are saying, he's already had that title. Why does he?
Well,
he's already beaten Adesanya
beat him 3 times. Adesanya
Why
wins
does he have
once,
to
and
go
it's like
back
this big
and,
thing.
Yeah, and do a 5th fight. Like
I know,
to him,
right? It's already done. He already
it's
won.
done and over, and there's stuff for him to go forward and do in the future, right? But who knows?
Absolutely. And now, he beat him at everything. He even got knocked out better than Izzy did.
That's just it. Yeah. Hey, you think you can get knocked out on live TV? Embarrass the
Hold
shit
my
out of
beer.
yourself? Yeah. Watch this.
Hell yeah.
That's a pretty funny take on it all. But yeah.
So before we scare all of our fans away who don't watch UFC or sports,
Jesus.
North Korea fired a missile.
Oh, that's right. So is there video of this, North Korea firing a missile anywhere?
Not that I know of. I didn't see any of it. But
Then it must have been a surprise.
what it was is they were testing out a new missile.
So if they're
And-
testing, they knew and they scheduled this ahead of time. And
It didn't tell anyone.
Someone should have had a camera there, no?
Well, that's the thing is it didn't land in North Korea. It landed I don't think North Korea has people outside of their country like filming stuff, right?
No, but I remember the last one that was like a huge failure. They did film that, and there was footage of it.
There must be some kind of footage, but I didn't see it. I guess it landed near Japan's like 2nd largest island, and they went to evacuate the whole thing. Eventually, they retracted that order, but they were going to evacuate the whole island, and they didn't know no one knew what was going on.
That was by accident that it landed near Japan.
It probably landed a little closer than they wanted it to. They were just
Right.
testing the missile. I don't think they had any way of. They probably weren't trying to get it that close to Japan, which is probably why it wasn't a big deal in the end.
That's insane that people are just allowed to do that.
I know, right? Like
If your country's that small, you should have to test within your country.
looks like
It's not like
there
America
is-
can just send shit at Mexico. Like, oopsies.
Looks like there is footage of the missile, but South Korea said that it's a new type of missile that uses like a solid fuel or something like that.
That Element 115.
That thing's fucking huge. It looks like it's going to the moon, man.
Oh my god.
Dude, look at that. You got 2 weeks before it hits you.
Yeah.
You can, like, say goodbye to your whole family. Grab all your stuff. You could get out of the way.
No. No, if that had intentions to go anywhere near like a NATO or America or anything, that would have been boom, just swatted.
yeah.
A literal giant fly swatter would have just came over and
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah.
Yeah.
Either way,
I think missiles are supposed to fly faster than that.
that was very fast. It's just
think so?
perspective of how far.
I don't know, man. I know that was fast, but it wasn't that fast. I've seen missiles
Did you
fly.
see the fucking rockets?
Have you seen missiles get launched before? They're fucking fast, man. Imagine they sent that thing to Canada. It would take fucking 2 days.
You're thinking of like torpedoes or something like that, right? Like I don't know, maybe not.
Torpedoes
man.
are underwater.
It's not like I'm a missile expert either. There we go. Yeah, I'm a fish.
Yeah, no. I'm talking about ICBMs, and like to be fair, like I haven't seen a bunch of ICBMs
No,
like
me
launch
neither.
like that, so I don't know.
So neither of us could really.
But I have seen missiles get launched a lot, and they fucking rip, man. But yeah,
That's probably just because they're much closer to the camera than that thing was.
fair enough. Maybe
But who knows? Hey, I'm
Who
not
knows?
a scientist.
we need Jeremy
Maybe it's
Delorme
the
in here.
slowest- Maybe
If we
it's
can,
the slowest missile in the world.
it's North Korea, so I was like,
There's a hot air balloon above them, and this is just floating it up into space. And then they're gonna drop it.
yeah. We need Jeremy Delorme to call in and
Right.
tell us exactly
That wouldn't be a
what's
bad
going
episode.
on with that.
Yeah.
He knows what's up.
So there's this Jeremy Brown guy. I don't know if you've heard of him. Sentenced to 7 years and 3 months for refusing to work as an undercover operative for the January 6th, whatever you want to call it, insurrection.
So was he at the event?
No. So he worked for like police, FBI, and they came to him and said, we need an undercover agent, basically the provocateur that you hear a lot from Rogan and stuff.
Yeah.
He denied it, which isn't illegal, but then they kept coming back and pestering him to do this and to keep this all quiet in the first place. He films them coming back. He films them threatening him and all this stuff and releases it on social media. And now he's detained and arrested for 7 years.
So what exactly are they charging him with?
What are they charging him with?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me read this here. So basically, they're charging him with releasing the FBI's personal information on doing that. It's not illegal to deny them, but it's illegal to go around and release the personal information, which isn't even illegal. It's this weird culture where we shit on the whistleblower. No matter what it is, even in Canada we do this. Like, you remember people were shitting on Trudeau and politicians were coming out saying this is spreading dissent and misinformation. Like, hey, well, let's deal with the misinformation, but dissent is valid when there's an actual fact behind it, right? Like, it's very concerning what's going on in Canadian politics in particular.
Man.
Like,
jeez. Yeah, well,
the
just all
internet bill is
Chinese
passed and everything's censored now. I tried commenting earlier today and it wouldn't let me comment until I deleted the word government. It was on some page where people were asking why hasn't Canada called for the disboarding of Trudeau, or called for Trudeau to resign, and I just wanted to type in, like, every time the government does blah blah blah, and it literally, it wasn't even like let's go storm the Capitol, but I had to delete everything to the point of deleting the word government, and then it let me post.
When you went to post, would it say something went wrong? Or
Yeah, no, it just said unable to post. Kind of like how the little bar pops up above your browser and like, oh, this is unavailable right now. Like,
Just a convenient little glitch.
very convenient, right? And very scary. This is trying times. Canada's
like-
going to push the boundaries all they can, but once we push back, they take it away. Last week, if you were to go search guns.com last week, it was not available. You see, I saw this all over Twitter. Guns.com, that you got like the URL, like, oh, this is unavailable in your area for all last week, and then today I went and tried it again and it works.
Yeah, that was so weird.
Yeah. So it's like they're gonna take as many inches as they can until you say something, then they'll come back and be like, oh, you're good, you're okay. But then they go for 5 more inches, and no, not me. No, have your freedom.
Well, it's like they just introduced all those new taxes on April 1st, right? For alcohol and all that.
Carbon tax, yeah.
However, the price of alcohol hasn't changed yet because it hasn't trickled down all the way yet. So it's still has time to change. However, in the news, they're saying, oh, for the first time in a long time, like, eggs have gone down and all this stuff has gone down. And then you look, 1.4% the price went down, and it's about to go up. Like,
Thanks to Trudeau.
yeah.
The sad part is we could sit here, rally, shake our sabers, vote Trudeau out, and it's just another head of the Hydra that's going to pop up
Yeah.
and do the
hopefully-
exact same stuff.
Hopefully, this everything's going to start collapsing around that guy soon, because as you brought to light earlier before the podcast started, the Trudeau Foundation. You said everyone from the whole thing resigned.
The entire board plus the CEO resigned from the Trudeau Foundation amid allegations of the Beijing contributions. Now, you go to CBC, they're going to say Trudeau, as the Trudeau Foundation, is reconsidering the gift they received from Beijing. And it's like, listen, that's not a gift. That's called a bribe in every other term of English that people speak.
Except the news station that's
Except
like
the news
controlled by the
station
government.
that is funded directly from the government.
Yeah.
Twitter's starting a new campaign where they're going to label every government-funded media as government-funded media on every post, just like Canada does now on every vaccine post and whatnot. They're going to label every single CBC, BBC, PBS, anything that takes funds directly from the government. You get labeled. And that's not wrong. That's helping disinformation.
Cypher in the comments says Trudeau said he has no affiliation with the Trudeau Foundation as well.
Yeah, no, I saw that. He's like, that had something to do with my dad and whatnot. Yeah, we're not
Trudeau
even related.
Foundation. Never heard of it, actually.
That's different, Trudeau.
Yeah.
You know, it's a pretty common name.
Yeah, wasn't it the Trudeau Foundation that was, oh no, that was, the government was paying Trudeau's mom to like speak. I think it was at Trudeau Foundation events or something like that.
Man, if you go back like 20 years ago, people didn't see the internet coming. 2003 politics, if you go back and watch it, you can see stuff from Australia, from Germany, from Canada, the same exact speech being read out of the lips of Stephen Harper, of people that we all respected,
Yeah.
but are clearly like there. What kind of odds is it that 3 different countries all came out and said the same exact speech to their?
It's one thing when,
Right,
you know, a bunch of different news stations in the same country do it, because we all know they're
We all know that
funded
news
by the same
stations
people.
are bought and paid for,
Yeah,
but
but-
the actual prime minister and the presidents and the leaders of multiple countries coming out giving the exact same speech back in 2003. If you don't know, you can look it up on YouTube or
Yeah, I
something.
saw that video.
Right. They didn't see this internet culture coming where people could fucking mix and mash all this stuff together. That is just so telling that there's a I don't want to use big words that'll get us shadow banned, but there's something happening back there, you know, guys. We got to be a little suspicious.
just even the things that Joe Biden would say when he was younger. It's just like you could tell people thought they didn't think that like this footage would be resurfaced and like shared around the internet the way like before something aired on TV, and if you weren't sitting in front of your TV to see it, you probably never saw it again. If it was
Yeah.
like some live event,
That's
you had
just
to
it.
wait till it came on TV again 2 years
Right.
later. So even
Or-
if it was your favorite show, you had to wait.
There's no way you saw the politicians from Australia giving a
Yeah,
speech, right? Ever.
And now you can look all that up. It's
Yeah.
all at our fingertips. So it's kind of funny when like I've seen all these old clips of Joe Biden now, and
Yeah.
he's getting interviewed, and the guy goes, oh, so clearly you're not corrupt, and so you know why does everyone trust you so much,
Yeah.
and like what does it take to be that kind of candidate? And he's like, oh, well, first off, I don't think you should. He's like, why would you say I'm not corrupt or something like
Yeah,
that?
I'm plenty corrupt.
I'm not so sure I'm not corrupt or something
You can
like
take
that.
that to the bank, Jack. Yeah. Biden's actually like if it wasn't so detrimental, Biden would be really funny.
No shit. Eh?
Like I don't know. Same with Trump though. I'm sure it's exactly like I said before. I think people are crazy. People think I'm crazy. You can't forget that concept in life, right? Like you exist too. If these people make you feel uncomfortable, you probably make them feel uncomfortable, and you can't just sit there and treat them like you make them feel uncomfortable.
So we got Cypher in the chat. He's in the chat all by himself, guys. I know there's more of you out there watching.
Really?
Why don't you keep him company
Yeah.
in there? Let
Hey,
us know you're
guys.
out there.
We really need some help. We are talking ourselves into a goddamn shadow band grave here. If you could like, share, fucking comment, anything that you can think of doing, you know,
Yeah.
we'll pay you. We'll pay you money
So-
directly. No.
No, we won't. Alex might. Cypher says they're all reading a script and they send it all around. They hope that the masses forget after a couple of years. And yeah, I think
Yeah.
you're right. There was that moment where it's like all of a sudden the internet's getting big. It's like they didn't expect that.
They didn't see this coming.
No.
And they didn't see a new generation of skeptical children coming.
Mm-hmm.
They were used to the same old people that were raised in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Ronald Reagan smacked them into line. It's blindsided the whole establishment is what I feel like. That this has to be condemned. It has to be controlled. And that's what's happening in Canadian internet right now. You can't step outside the line.
And we pretty much do all the time. We're on
We
the
pretty
verge.
much do. And I
we,
mean, we're
push the envelope.
kind of shooting ourselves in the foot doing this on YouTube.
Yeah, so
Right.
one day we might have to switch over to Rumble. Good news is we're already on Rumble. Everything gets posted there. Just one day you might have to watch us live there. Dan's in the chat now. What's up, people?
Thank you,
Thanks
Dan.
for tuning in, Dan. Oh, we got 4 likes. Nice.
Can we pull up the clip with Elon Musk?
Oh, yeah. So Elon Musk
So this one-
destroyed this fucking...
This
This
one's
guy.
a little wordy, but I really liked it. We should listen.
Look, we're halfway in. I said my first swear word, I think.
Don't swear. Don't swear.
You know, we have spoken to people who have been sacked that used to be in content moderation, and we've spoken to people very recently who were involved in moderation, and they just say there's not enough people to police this stuff, particularly around hate speech in the company. Is that
What
something
hate
that you
speech
want
are you
to
talking
address?
about? I mean, you use Twitter.
Right.
Do you see a rise in hate speech?
I mean,
But just a personal anecdote, like what do you? I don't.
personally, for you, I would see I get more of that kind of content. Yeah, personally.
For you is
But
your
I'm not gonna
regular
talk
feed.
Talk to the rest of for the rest of Twitter.
You
But
see more
personally,
hate speech personally.
I would say I would see more hateful content in that.
Content you don't like or hateful? What do you mean to describe a hateful thing?
That was a big thing you just said there.
You know,
Yeah.
just content that will solicit a reaction, something that may include something that is slightly racist or slightly sexist, those kinds of things.
So you think if something is slightly sexist, it should be banned?
No,
Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying anything. I'm
Well,
saying.
I'm just curious. I'm trying to understand what you
You're
mean
on
by hateful
camera.
Content. And I'm asking for specific examples. And you just said that if something is slightly sexist, that's hateful content. Does that mean that it should be banned?
Well, you've asked me whether my feed, whether it's got less or more. I'd say it's got slightly more.
That's
But
why I'm asking for examples.
Right.
Can you name one example?
I honestly don't use. Honestly, I
You
don't.
can't name a single
Oh, I
example.
don't even
I'll tell
use
you
it.
why, because I don't actually use that for you feed anymore.
So
because
remember
I
that he doesn't use it.
But you
And
said
actually,
you-
a lot of people are quite similar. I only
Well,
look
hang
at
on a second.
my
You
following.
said you've seen
following.
more hateful content, but you can't name a single example, not even one.
I'm not sure I've used that feed for the last 3 or 4 weeks, and
Well, then how did you see the hateful content?
Because I've been using Twitter since you've taken it over for the last 6 months.
Okay, so then you must have at some point seen you hateful content. I'm asking for one example.
Just one.
And you can't give us
Just
one.
one.
And I'm saying,
You've
I
curated
say
this.
so
You've
that you don't know what you're
prepared.
talking about.
really,
Yes, because you can't give me a single example of hateful content, not even one tweet, and yet you claimed that the hateful content was high.
well,
That's false.
no. What I claimed,
just lied.
What I claimed was. There are many organizations that say that kind of information is on the rise. Now, whether it has on my
Give me
feed
one
or
example.
not.
Who are these
I mean,
organizations?
right, and
Literally
if you
can't
look at
name
something
one.
like the Strategic Dialogue Institute in the UK, they will say that. So
Look, people will say all sorts of nonsense. I'm literally asking for a
Right.
single example, and you can't name one.
right, and as I've already said, I don't use that feed. But let's,
then how would you know that
I
you
don't think this is getting.
He didn't
You
do
experienced more hateful content, and then couldn't name a single example.
This
Right,
guy's
and as I said,
losing his
that's
job.
absurd.
I haven't
absurd.
actually looked at that feed. I
Then
say,
how would
for
you
a
know there's
few
hateful
weeks.
content?
Because I'm saying that's what I saw a few weeks ago. I can't give you an exact example. Let's move on. We only have a certain amount.
Let's move on. You'd like
well,
that, wouldn't
Yeah, the richest guy in the world who has more fucking on his
amazing.
to-do
You
list
changed
than
the
anyone ever, and
BBC
has to
changed
sit
the
here
conversation?
and move on from the
The
subject with
BBC
you.
does not set the rules on Twitter, so I'm asking you.
No, I'm talking about the BBC's misinformation about COVID.
5,
I'm
6.
literally asking you about, you changed the labels, the COVID misinformation labels. There used to be a policy, and then it then disappeared. Why do that?
Because the policy was unconstitutional.
COVID is no longer an issue. Does the BBC
He just says
hold
nothing
responsible
there, yeah. Anyways,
for misinformation regarding masking and side effects of vaccinations, and not reporting on that at all?
just
And what about the fact
raked.
that the BBC was put under pressure by the British government to change its editorial policy? Are you aware of that?
This is not
He's
an
like,
issue
I just
about the
say what I'm fucking
I
paid
just
to
read the cue
say.
cards, buddy. Sorry.
I've seen that
They
one.
write the questions.
I'm not a representative of the BBC's editorial policy. I want to make that clear. Let's talk about.
If I don't
something
say
else.
this, I
Let's
get
talk about-
fired.
All right,
Thank you very much.
Let's talk about something else.
Let's talk about
about
the next job you're going to try to get
Yeah.
after this. Let's talk about the references.
Okay, well, that
on your
didn't work
resume.
at all. That was so embarrassing.
That was really bad.
Imagine like that you spent your whole life, you went to college, and that's your job. You have to toe the corporate line for a government agency. And not only that, but you just got fucking exposed by Elon Musk. Let's show him that one there. Andrew.
That's so
How does
good.
this play? That's too loud.
Oh
He
man.
literally did just bury that guy, though.
Yeah, they gotta send a better journalist than that.
I'm
if they're gonna.
I'm surprised they published that.
I guess so. Yeah. Why would they even?
You have a choice to publish that or to shelf it for the rest of its life. And why would the BBC put that out?
I would have just buried that.
Right? It made them.
It's probably because
very
they
bad.
already announced that he was going to be on that show or something, so they had to release something, and maybe that was the most of it. Who knows? I couldn't tell you.
Either way, that was ridiculous. That just shows you that literally, unless you have so much money that you're willing to tell people to suck your fucking dick, that like you literally have no chance. Right?
Yep.
You need to be Elon Musk. You need to be the smartest guy in the world with enough money to literally shoot yourself in the foot and be like, I don't
Since
care.
he took over Twitter, it's just been a constant, like they're just on him. They're like, oh, he's doing this, he's doing that. It's like
They're trying everything.
They're trying to make him look so fucking bad.
Imagine if Elon had that Joe Rogan reel where he said the N-word a million times.
He's African.
That's right. Yeah, it would be on everything, dude. Yeah, they're trying to cancel everyone basically.
Any way they can, and if they can, twist your words up to make you sound transphobic, sexist,
Yeah.
and
This
like that
is-
guy says, "Oh, I've seen things that are slightly sexist." It's
Yeah.
like, man, does that make it hate speech? Like, a guy's not allowed. Like, man, there's assholes in the world. You know what I mean? There's always going to be assholes in the world, and we don't need to live in a world that like puts people in jail because they say things that hurt our feelings, like,
No, not only that,
or even
that,
censor them.
that creates a world where everybody lives in this Teletubby land, where it's literally 1984 George Orwell, where you're not allowed to use wrong speak. It's very scary the direction that some people seem to want. Like if you were to ask what kind of world do you want, like a lot of people don't want free speech. There is no such thing as free speech.
Well,
in
they're being
Canada.
brainwashed into thinking that they don't want free speech. Like everybody, I think,
Sure.
if you ask someone like, should you be able to say whatever you want? Like most people, I think are going to say like, yeah. But like we're being brainwashed into thinking that there's a whole nother type of speech that we shouldn't touch. It's like, yeah, no, I want free speech, but I don't like hate speech. It's like they go hand in hand.
No
like,
matter
you have
what-
to allow hate speech to have free speech.
The way that communication has evolved through time is from people saying anything, and the dumbest of those sayings gets criticized.
Yeah.
And that's the only way that we cultivate and curate our society
Absolutely. That's
is by
why.
listening to everybody and then calling down the idiots for sure. And
Exactly.
if that happens to be you, then guess what? That's just a part of life, and you have to take your fucking weapon and right and just like lick your wounds and get better.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. You know, like, who was I going to talk about? Can't even remember. I just
Great
lost
pod.
it. No, I had it, and then it just. Anyways, Cypher's here in the comments. He's.
Thank you, Cypher.
I feel like we got to acknowledge him. He's our number one fan tonight. This guy could.
Yeah,
get
no,
more
thank you so much.
posts
Is he
just to be
the guy
outraged.
from London, England?
No, he's from where we're from.
Oh, Cypher's from Burns Lake, or not Burns Lake, British Columbia.
Yeah, he's my homie.
You said where, and that's where I'm from. Sorry.
Shout out Cypher.
Thank
So-
you, Cypher.
So,
Who's the guy that said he was from London? Anyways, that's dumb. Yeah, no, that
Oh, that was DT.
it's a giant dumpster fire. But the secret that I have to tell anyone that's willing to listen is go make a Twitter. Get on Twitter. Stop looking at Facebook. Stop looking at Instagram. Those are censored to the max. If you can think of like a dystopian Hunger Games type censorship, that's exactly what you're getting off of Facebook and YouTube as well, which is something else to be brought up. Go get a Twitter. It's the last bastion for free speech. And the fact that he's making people pay for verification badges,
a lot of people that lost theirs don't want it back. They're just like, fuck that.
right?
People are
And that's
trashing
fine.
them now.
Let them
It seems like the bigger celebrities that people really know from TV. They don't really care if they get it back, but it's all the people that want their voices heard on Twitter. Like that blue check
Yeah.
means a lot to them, right? So people take them seriously, right?
And that's just it. The veil is being pulled from their eyes that, hey, you're not that important. Like, you know, yeah, you're a loud voice and people like to listen to you for sure, but you're not that important. You're just another fucking person on this world.
Fair enough. And I think it just shows that the blue checks don't really mean anything anyways.
No.
You and I can buy blue checks and be verified on Twitter. And
Well, even
it's just
before
so
that-
people will listen to you. That's
even before
only
that, you
reason
can buy
people
it.
want it.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
It's the only reason. And now that anyone can buy it, you see the people who had it for the last 10 years are so salty.
Yeah.
Salty as hell. Be like, oh, you got a fake check. Like,
Well, that's why they don't want. So now they're trying to like make it like a counterculture. They're trying to make it like
right? And who cares? I mean, wait 10 years. The fact that Elon did this is only going to push Facebook and Instagram into doing it too, because it's the only way to make money off of subscription-based kind of content like this, which is what it's turning it into. You're paying for a subscription that's called Twitter Blue.
fair enough. And the thing is, what do you get from that though? The blue check mark, what does it do?
Verification to show that, hey, I'm an entity willing to pay $10. Therefore, I have a more validity.
Could I not just like pay for a fake account?
Yeah, and that's not even illegal. But you're not allowed to impersonate a real person as a fake account.
Oh,
that's going to get you taken down whether you pay for it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, and this all sounds really new and nuanced for sure.
But with AI, they can just AI generate new people's faces and just make people. They could still make.
Yeah,
bots.
no, it's going to be,
And
but they can't do the CAPTCHA shit. Right?
No, they can though. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
That AI paid someone to do it.
And they can do that.
Did we talk about that on the podcast?
No, I don't think so. But so AI paid someone to go through the CAPTCHA stuff for them. And the way they did it is by saying that I'm a blind person and I can't do this by myself. So they went to like Fiverr or something like that, where you're just like,
Yep.
you pay someone money to do stuff for you.
The interesting thing was the whole reason why that happened is they tasked the AI with making as much money as possible.
Right.
And so it was like trying to make money, and then it ran into that the reCAPTCHA thing. So yeah, it hired someone to do it.
To do it for them.
And the guy's like, "You're not a robot, are you?" And it was like, "No, I'm just a blind person."
No. Right, yeah. Either way, it's funny seeing these people that were like 10 years ago, big, thinking they're going to be the next, Robin Williams or something like that. Now all of a sudden they're like, oh, anybody can have a check. Checks are fucking greasy. We don't need that stuff. Like, no, you're just salty. And eventually everyone's going to have a check. And what do you, maybe they'll come out with a celebrity check. Like, oh, this is a red check. Means that I'm a celebrity, therefore I'm better than you. Ha, 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 ha.
Yeah, they'll make a different color one
Right?
for.
It's all elitism.
Yeah,
It's all kind of like
Classism
we're in
even.
this group and you're not. You're not allowed to come into our group.
It's like classism, yeah.
Right? Yeah. I don't get it. So people who paid for their checks should feel bad about themselves.
I think
that's the general message they're trying to.
That's what
get
they're.
across.
Yeah, no, I read a post. I've been reading posts all week from like Doja Cat and
Right.
some other
Salty.
some rappers, super
Salty
salty,
people.
and they not only do they not want it back, they're like, if you have a blue check mark, like that's how everyone knows, like the losers of the internet now or the tryhard, like they're
Right.
trying to just turn it around, right?
Have fun being another fucking face in the crowd.
Yeah, but a
'Cause
lot
that's
of
it.
those
The
people already
internet's
have the
adding
followers, though,
faces.
right?
Yeah.
And so they don't really have to worry about a blue check, I guess. But some
doesn't
people do,
matter in
right?
the first place. It never did matter.
Yeah, fair
It's
enough.
just an elitism. It's like it kind of like Nazi Germany. Where's your armband?
Well, no, it did matter a little bit because, for example, like on Instagram, if you go through the comments, everyone with a blue check is at the top when you go through the comments. Like they don't just end up like at the bottom.
Oh,
like if you have a
really?
blue check mark beside your name, your comments get pinned at the top.
You can also
and that's how it works on Facebook as
you
well.
can set it to just show you the notifications from check marks.
Oh, okay.
So that's probably why these people are so salty. Like, I used to be able to see cool people, and now I got to see everyone.
Well, and I just mean like it's just a way to get heard. And, like, for
Yeah.
example, let's say we wanted to promote our
Either
podcast
way.
by like commenting on posts, right? If
Yeah.
we had a blue check mark and we're
could
verified,
pay.
and then it goes to the top, and then people see it, they're actually going to see it. Like that's
true.
the biggest.
Hey,
thing.
that's a good plan. Maybe we
So,
should pay
$7
for
a
check
month. Is that
mark.
what it is?
Yeah, no, it's in Canada. It's like 10, 11.
Jesus. Of course. it
I
is.
know, right? Should we move on to this Neil deGrasse Tyson video for the one last?
Yeah,
kick at the
sure.
can?
Let's squeeze it in here. You got it? Yeah, there we go.
Medical professionals. Just take a look.
I'm
at
talking
here.
about, excuse me,
Dr.
medical
Peter
professionals.
McCullough. No, I want to
who
go through what
represent a
happened
consensus.
here. This is the
I
problem
need
with the
you need
consensus.
the
This fucking
consensus.
idiot.
Okay, I just
medical
want,
professional.
I want you to
Because
no.
the medical is so huge, I can find you an astrophysicist who is sure we've been visited
The
by
problem
aliens.
was
That's not
the
consensus.
problem was the scientific method died here, and this is the point I want to make.
My
it
point-
died a death here,
need-
and I need you to help me save it because Dr. Peter McCullough is the leading
I don't care.
cardiologist.
Titles don't matter here.
They do matter,
They
dumbass.
matter.
What
matters
should
is
matter?
the consensus.
What should matter was that the consensus was not allowing to the table.
Then you bring that person here and have this conversation
I have.
with them. Okay. So you don't have to have the
One step
conversation.
ahead of you, dumbass.
But I want science, and so here's what we have. We have Peter McCullough, world-renowned heart doctor, saying, I am seeing a rise in myocarditis because of this vaccine. We have the leading ICU, second most published science, Paul Merrick. Hear me out here. Hear me out. I know
Go.
you. I know. All right. These have all been on my show. Dr. Robert Malone, part of the inventing factor behind the mRNA vaccine. All these people have been censored. They were shut down. They were kept from talking to the people in Washington. Johnny and
How
Eden
they if
was
they're on the
putting
show,
out the
how are they
data.
censored?
Dr. J, I'll show you.
Okay.
Dr. Jay Bhattacharya, Dr. Sunetra Gupta, Dr. Martin Koldorf, Oxford University, Harvard School of Medicine, Stanford School of Medicine, they put together the Great Barrington Declaration, which was an approach towards this to say, let's protect
Almost a
that
million
simple,
signatures now.
small group that we know needs to be protected and figure out a way the rest of us can establish a herd immunity around them. And the NIH, who's supposed to be objective on this, we now have internal email, because this is what I do. I actually put in FOIA requests. We know that this is what Francis Collins said about those people before even talking to them. There needs to be a quick and devastating published takedown of the premise being brought by these scientists. That was the approach to science. No other science can be allowed in here. You started this out by saying every challenge should come in, every way to say that we don't agree with the hypothesis.
He's like,
Maybe
"Fuck, I
these
shouldn't
people
have
say,
said that."
you don't need the vaccine, there's a way through this. Or we should be tactical with the vaccine. All of these people were kept out of the conversation.
all I can comment
and you
in
were
there-
wanting me to sign on to a
He's a doctor
contract
as
where
well.
the scientific method isn't being used.
Okay. That list of highly pedigreed medical professionals that you are citing, I'm not interested in
Yeah, we get
medical
it.
pedigree. I'm interested in medical consensus, in scientific consensus.
Consensus
The
has
moment
been
someone
wrong
says,
multiple
well, I'm
times.
of this highfalutin school, or
Yeah.
this, that's like, okay, that means they're going to say something that goes against the consensus, and they want to.
So he must think the world is flat.
This guy's so wedding.
Remember, the
I'm
world
just
would still
saying
be flat
we
if we
need
went by
someone
the way he
Consensus.
yeah.
medical
Right?
consensus here.
The
Have that
goddamn
conversation.
sun revolves around the
medical
earth if we're talking
consensus
about
around a product
consensus.
that we knew nothing about. And the medical consensus around a virus that
Nothing.
told us
That
they
exaggerates.
knew nothing about.
That-
They kept
something.
telling us we know very little about it. So why was there a medical consensus that was keeping out renowned scientists from the conversation when they were telling us on television we don't know a lot about this virus, we're trying to figure it out? Scientists that were on the ground, that were
Chin
dealing
down
with
over
patients,
there.
were being censored, were being shut down, their YouTube channels were being shut down, their LinkedIn's were being shut down.
Because the individual scientist does not matter. We started this
shill.
conversation on that very
But
fact.
the science
That's not a
individual
fact.
scientist-
method does.
Yes, of course it does. And
Let me think about that for a quick. I think it does.
Yeah. What about the individual science
When I
that
can look, when I
let
can
your
look now
narrative
in
go?
the rearview
How long
mirror
is
and
this?
set it while
I don't
it
know.
was
We can cut it
happening,
here. We can cut it
there
here.
is a
Yeah.
That one bothers me. If
Oh,
we were
me
talking
too,
about
man.
consensus, Galileo was put into house arrest till the day he died.
Yeah.
Because the consensus was
The
that
world was flat.
Earth was the center of the
Oh, yeah,
universe,
sorry.
and the sun revolved around the Earth.
That's right.
He said no, that's not the truth, and he was exiled to house arrest.
So who was the one that said the Earth wasn't flat? Is that the same guy? I think it was.
Earth wasn't flat. That I think that's a more modern kind of.
That the Earth wasn't flat. The Earth was thought of to be flat for the longest time, and
Okay,
at one
cool.
point,
That's
I think
something
it was,
I don't know, but
Okay, so it's the exact same premise that you're talking about,
yeah.
and so
Hey, you got Google right there. You can figure it out.
Yeah,
but,
no, but-
no. I can tell you about the Galileo thing. It's
it's
a
the
very
exact same story.
It's a very common story that we hear growing up.
So in the Bible, it basically says the Earth is flat, right?
Really?
And so so
That's news to
the
me.
Catholic Church was
Do you
like
read the Bible?
I have once, yeah.
Wow.
But they said it was flat. So like the whole fucking world thought the Earth was flat, or at least in Rome, or at least in Europe, right?
Right.
And so people
In
would
the
get
Vatican.
executed for saying otherwise. And so when he wrote that the Earth isn't flat, and it was all mathematical equations that he could prove it with,
Exactly.
he had to write it like, hey, I know this is the consensus, but if you look at this and these numbers, like 2 + 2 = 4, and like.
Yeah.
That's basically
The-
what he had to like show them.
The
Like,
broader argument is that consensus has been proved to be wrong multiple times over and over.
oh yeah,
And so to sit there and rest on consensus without even contributing to fact checking, to hearing these challenges and fighting them back,
yeah.
just shows that you are a shill. You're
Oh my God, it's so
reading off of
obvious.
it. You could see that guy literally sweating because
Oh,
he had nothing to say against it.
Dude, that was sad, man, because he knows he's wrong. He knows he's sitting there,
He knows he's wrong.
like saying, like he's trying to deflect. He's trying to twist the argument so that he's right, and it's like
Right.
he-
The sadder part is that guy was the reason I ever got into like a scientific mind frame in
A
the
lot of
first
people.
place over 10 years ago.
Yeah. He made science cool.
He wrote a few books 10 years ago that were very digestible to a layman brain. And it opened my mind up to the possibility of studying physics one day or something, because all of a sudden, like, this isn't ancient Greek anymore. He's actually like speaking English that I can understand.
Yeah.
And then he's just kind of devolved into this shill that has nothing to say except for the mainstream narrative.
Well,
No
essentially
matter
what
what.
he's saying is because the guy's like, man, we had these experts, and he's like, it doesn't matter their qualifications.
Yeah,
Like it
listen to
does.
the
When you
consensus.
have the guy that knows the most about the heart in the world, and he says something about
Yeah.
the heart,
An actual
and,
cardiologist versus an astrophysicist.
and he's saying the consensus is like this other group, and it's like, okay, so in reality, then if you had a really smart people that said, hey, or a really smart person that said, hey, the Earth isn't flat, and then like,
Yeah.
you know, a bunch of dumb people were like, hey, we never looked into that, but no, we don't think that that's true, and it's like, so those people are right then, according to Neil.
Yeah.
And you know, like he's, yeah.
It's
Anyways,
very
but he called
sad.
him out on everything. It was so perfect.
It was, and that kind of played into the Elon Musk video we played before, where it's like the veil is being lifted, and we only have Elon Musk to thank for that, because he spent $45 billion just to troll the government, just to whistleblow on his own company.
I love it.
Right? Like that guy has fuck me money.
Yeah, pretty
like,
much, man.
If I had
And-
enough to fucking say fuck you, that'd be something. But to have enough to say fuck me,
Yep.
and still be the richest guy in the world, like,
Yep. So with that, I think
I think that wraps it up for
unless
us.
you want to do a couple little memes
No,
now.
I think
No
I
memes
think we're
tonight?
good today. If you guys could do us a favor, we'd really appreciate a like and a follow. It is painful to get back onto the track with our goddamn shit here.
Brandon was going to call in, but he missed his chance.
Missed your chance. Next week,
Yeah.
buddy.
Next time, Brandon.
We really appreciate it from all of us here at the Crowded Room Podcast. This has been another Thursday night. Do we got a nice little outro music for us?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Of
So,
course,
yeah,
I didn't have it queued up. Here it goes.
We like to bring this to you every week. We really appreciate doing our part. We hope that you guys could just like and subscribe.
Yeah, you got to keep talking for 10 more seconds. There's an ad that needs
Oh
to
my
play,
God.
and just like last time.
Either way, fuck that. But
3,
yeah,
2,
hopefully Brandon can come back next week. Brandon Hebert.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, ladies and gentlemen. You are going to hear from us next week.
Absolutely.
Same goddamn time. Hopefully the same place. We'll see if they let us do it again on YouTube.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Have a good night, guys.
Think twice about the motherfucking quick knock. Switchblade suicide with the wrist slice. Closed eyes won't rise when the sun's bright. Switchblade serenading in the moonlight. Holla to the fucking sky cause the moon bright. You know they say when the stars in my eyes better go running high. That we don't wanna lie when the union arises. Street light shining, you know my time's arriving. Out when it's dark cause we midnight vibing. Midnight driving, cruising by flying. Living so fast, never think about dying. Pose up in the dark and we hang out with the Batman. Scars on my knuckles cause we fucking with the wolf gang. Switchblade shining, night bright winding. Stars in my eyes when the moonlight shines in. Murder rap on my first track. Killing shit cause I've been begging. Suicide on the second, I don't care. Just accept it, knife swipe and get doomed. Switchblade coming soon. Chills on your spine when we holler to the fucking moon. Still shine bright, frost spot. Make it eyes one, shut down, slice with the right swat. Blood on my fist, knife test on my wrist. Moonshine on the blade, just cruising through the mist. Middle of midnight, think twice about the motherfucking quick knife. Switchblade suicide with the wrist slice. Closed eyes won't rise when the sun's bright. Switchblade serenading in the moonlight. Holla to the fucking sky cause the moon bright. You know they say when the stars in my eyes better go running high. That we don't wanna lie when the union arises. A little bit of midnight, think twice about the motherfucking quick knife. Switchblade suicide with the wrist slice. Closed eyes won't rise when the sun's bright. Switchblade serenading in the moonlight. Holla to the fucking sky cause the moon bright. You know they say when the stars in my eyes better go running high. That we don't wanna lie when the union arises. A little bit of midnight, think twice about the motherfucking quick knife. Switchblade suicide with the wrist slice. Closed eyes won't rise when the sun's bright. Switchblade serenading in the moonlight. Holla to the fucking sky cause the moon bright. You know they say when the stars in my eyes better go running high. That we don't wanna lie when the union arises.